right now as you enter this camp?
I'm looking. I'm not ready to go. They're going to be some, but I've got to play some real football before we can really evaluate what our depth is, and who we might want to look at on either the other side of the ball or a different spot. And we got some, maybe a little bit more right now that maybe move within their side of the ball. A lot of combinations that we can look at in the secondary right now, and that's going to be an interesting thing to see it play out.
Does dividing the practice up help you get a better view of the depth, sort of, in terms of looking at your veterans versus the newcomers? Yeah,
I mean, and what you're doing is you basically have two deep out here both practices. So that first practice, you're looking at what is right now your two deep, and if somebody's not carrying their weight, now you're looking at the next practice at a different two deep. You're seeing who can threaten to become a two, or who can threaten to become a one if you're out there with your twos and your ones. And what it's done is create a lot of competition, you know, and that's what you hope to have.
Big news now, you know, kind of looking big pictures, all these autograph things that keep popping up. I mean, have you gone back and like reminded people like that signing stuff for money is not?
Every time we have and we hear something, it gives us an opportunity to reinforce what we believe. We did have a pretty lengthy meeting with our compliance people when we reported covering all of these things, and they did Cindy Hartman and her staff are incredible, and they did a great job of taking it to the nth degree. And so one of the things to offer young people out there, whether you're a high school player or whether you're a collegiate player, if there's a doubt in your mind, ask. You know, just ask. Otherwise, you have to assume it's premeditated. You know, and so you know we have plenty of people that can answer those questions for high school athletes and collegiate athletes.
How would you assess the conditioning of the incoming freshmen?
Good. You know, most of them have been here at least half the summer. Not as good as our other guys, so I see some of them starting to wane a little bit after 3 or 4 days, and then by having them in a separate practice too, I cut a couple of minutes off some of the individual periods today because I don't want to become counterproductive and have them watching, so I'd rather have some than none. So, you know, that's just part of my job, is to evaluate where they are, how quickly they're recovering. We're going at right now, this first week, we're going at night, as you see, and we're not going again until the next night. And we're probably going to throw them a little bit of a curve and check everybody a little bit Friday. And it's kind of the nature of what camp is. We'll work Thursday evening, and right now my plans are to go Friday morning and put them in a little different heat circumstance and do a little bit of a gut check. It's the first day of pads. So it's just a chance to find out who wants to ring the bell or who wants to stay. You know, that's what the Navy SEALs do. You think I ought to put a bell out here, Art?
We got one.
You have one, yeah.
Yeah, we do.
You guys got one last year, didn't you?
But you know, that's what the SEALs do. They have that bell visual for them all the time. If you want to quit, you just go ring the bell.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be a bad little deal, would it?